everyone. We're joined by head men's soccer coach Dan Stratford. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Just use the raised hand feature when you're ready. Mark Schoenster, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask about the game last weekend. After Aaron got the red card, it would have been very easy to just mail it in, but y'all continued to be aggressive through the rest of the 90 minutes. Can you describe the mentality the team had for that last 20 or so minutes when you were a man down?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was really proud of them in the sense that, as you said, 1-0 down at that point, and then going down to 10 men, it would have been really easy to act and feel quite deflated at that point. And perhaps you go on and lose the game 2 or 3. But the fact that we continue to be more of the dominant force at that period of the game with 10 men, we still had more of the possession and created 2 or 3 really, really good chances late on in the game to give ourselves a chance to obviously equalize and get something from the game. That wasn't to be, but the fact that you literally see our players working so hard with seconds left on the clock after everything that they put into the game at that point to create a chance, even get the corner at the very end. I was really, really proud of the players' effort. The messaging's been really easy in the sense that if we do perform that way over 90 minutes, that's, if you like, the performance we've been waiting for and looking for from the team. The irony is that we didn't get the result, but we try and stay as process-oriented as we can and focus on the performance. And I think everyone is well aware that if we play like that consistently, we'll absolutely win a lot more games than we'll lose. So as bitter of a pill as it was to swallow with the result, we're still trying to take a ton of positives from the weekend.
So to sort of follow up on that, it seems like the only thing that was missing was just that final touch or that finish. A couple shots aired over the crossbar, just not quite on frame. Is there anything you can do in the small window of time you've had between games to focus on that, or is that just a mentality thing and you just got to get one in to get the goals coming?
Yeah, obviously, the stats have indicated we've been pretty proficient in front of goal up to this point in the season. So you're always going to run into days like that, as we did on Sunday. You obviously hope that eventually one falls. We're not making a big deal of it in that regard. We continue to create those quality of opportunities, then certainly one will go. So yeah, they'll get a little bit of finishing today, but nothing beyond the norm, if you like, this close to another game.
I wanted to ask about Powell for a moment. He didn't play in the first few games, and then he made an appearance. What's his role on the team this season?
To hopefully get fit as quickly as possible. Powell had surgery in November to repair a meniscus, so he's slightly ahead of schedule with his recovery. Give him a ton of credit in that regard, just how professional he's been, how hard he's worked in terms of being in the training room, continuing his rehab, even to this day. So we're managing him as delicately as we can and trusting and listening to the medical professionals that we have here in terms of just how much he's capable of right now. Obviously, we were really pleased with his influence and his output on Sunday. As I said, he is ahead of schedule. It'll be really easy for us to get ahead of ourselves now and put him in when it's been such a long break. So we have to show some restraint as a coaching staff as well right now. But Powell is 100% bought into what this team is trying to do. He's a captain on this team, and we can't wait, knock on wood, for 2 weeks' time when he's probably cleared to do everything and be available in the starting lineup potentially. So we're very happy just to have him in the role that we do right now. And like I said, we're counting down the days until he can have even more influence on the team and on the program.
Kevin, go ahead.
Dan, going back and digging a little bit more into your process versus the result versus getting the win, what's the balance there? How do you, coach that? I understand you're developing, you're still in early days in the program and you want to emphasize all the things you're trying to build on. At some point, though, I know you want to win some games too. So, how do you balance that message, that teaching to the team?
I think consistency. I think, if you were to look at what the 2 or 3 days looked like following the win at ODU, the win at Charlotte, or the win at NIU, it looked no different to the 2 or 3 days the guys have had following the loss at Western Michigan. It's the consistency to, reflect on the Charlotte game and go, okay, here's a ton of things that we could still improve on despite winning the game 3-0. The result isn't always, particularly in this sport, you know, a direct reflection on the performance of the team. And that's where I think, you know, I've, if you like, had that influence and had that process and developed that philosophy within my time at Charleston, where we won a lot of games. I think it's really important that there is continuity from week to week in some areas of how the program is operating. And specific to this week, as I said, we actually probably looked at more positive things from Western Michigan and more things that we could improve from Charlotte and NIU. So yeah, I think important that the players stay the course and you know, are reinforced that they did a lot of the right things and did a lot of things very, very well on Sunday, outside of obviously put one in the back of the net and come out with some type of result. So we have to stay very consistent. We have to continue to reinforce to the players when it is good and when it needs to improve. And like I said, that's been the process so far for the first month. So hopefully they respond well tomorrow, and we can amend the result and also do it with another good performance like we showed against Western Michigan.
Kevin, go ahead.
Looking at the early MAC standings, I know it's early days, everybody's 1-1. Is that an indication of, do you think it's going to be that competitive? Is that just a kind of an anomaly early, or do you think that's something that you'll see play out for much of the year?
I think it made it even, it was good news and bad news in a sense that, you know, it honestly did feel a little bit like 3 points lost on Sunday when we saw the rest of the results come in. But at the same time, yeah, as you alluded to, it's kind of game on right now. We didn't lose anything in the standings. And I do think it'll be a reflection of how the conference plays out. You know, we've probably seen every team, even though we haven't played them all just yet, we've probably seen every team play twice at least by now. And I think you have 6 teams with all their own identity and quite unique from one another. And then maybe certain games where certain playing styles suit certain matchups. So I do think there'll be, you know, the result like we have with Western Michigan from time to time, the probably more surprise result with respect to them with NIU and Akron that came in on the weekend. I do think it'll be marginal once 10 games are played. We hope 10 games are played. And you see a winner at the top of it. I think it's going to be pretty close the whole way.
Mark, go ahead.
Concerning Bowling Green State, what stands out to you about them come tomorrow?
Yeah, again, a very, very different test to what we've faced up to this point in the season. You know, a back three that they have a lot of trust in. They've got a lot of good athleticism. They seem like a very, very hard-working team and very, very good in transition. But also some areas that we believe that we can exploit. So similar messaging, if you like, to the Western Michigan game, where we felt like it was more an opportunity, more a test of ourselves. If we implemented what we do well, that we felt like we could win the game and win the game well on Sunday. I firmly believe of the same potential outcome with Bowling Green, but yeah, a different type of game, a team probably that's a bit more dynamic and more high energy, that will likely press with some good numbers, and we'll need to be ready for that and prepared for that, and then potentially exploit the spaces that they leave us as a result.
So you've had a lot of freshmen get minutes this season, and significant minutes at that. Jesus, Sergio, Ryan Bear, Kyle Leinert, all of them. What can you say about how they've adjusted after playing a couple of games?
Yeah, I think, as we said, the biggest outcome from this semester will be learning about these new players and these relatively new players within the remainder of their time at the program, right? A lot of these guys have still got the best part of 4 years ahead of them. So, yeah, so far so good in terms of how they've passed that test. I think we now cross another threshold, which is 10 games in 5 weeks. We have a real, you know, backlog of games at a period of time where we're still improving our fitness. We're still, you know, improving our conditioning as a group, and as a result of finally playing these games. So that's the real challenge coming off Sunday, is how quickly can we not only get over the disappointment of the result, but get over the physical exertion that we experienced on Sunday to fully recover. And yes, they may be freshmen, but we've acknowledged we're a little bit lighter in terms of numbers within the squad anyway for this semester. So they have to be ready to take their opportunity, and you know, we'll need that depth again tomorrow.